up? It's Kennard, Vernon Stewart, doing yet another car cast here on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Man, I was kind of getting the days mixed up because it's coming up on the Christmas holiday. Of course, you got Christmas Eve tomorrow. For all the Santa Clauses out there, go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. As always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger. We're about to get into this Bryan Carswell thing just a little bit. Don't know much about him. He's from Boise State, spent most of his, if not all of his career there. Very interesting pick for the Auburn Tigers. And what we really want to know is what will the, for lack of a better way of putting it, what will the aftermath be of the Bryan Harsin fire? I think I'm really concerned about the offensive side of the football field. I don't know how much of that action Bryan will retain. Not sure if there's even a protective clause to speak for the defense retaining Kevin Steele and Travis Williams and his crew, who have done pretty well over the years. The offense definitely needing some work this year, especially after experiencing some pretty epic lows offensively outside of the bright spot with Tank Bigsby, who was all but a 5-star recruit out of Hoganville, Georgia. Now, I saw an article today that talked about possible replacements for Chad Morris. Now, that just indicates that, Harsin might not really be feeling Chad Morris. Chad Morris's offense was largely non-productive at best, very haphazard, very unorthodox. We want to think that it was a combination of the meeting of the minds, or lack thereof, between Chad Morris and Gus Malzahn, but never any real serious continuity there. The offensive line, for all intents and purposes, battling injury, battling inexperience, a new offensive line coach, and Jack Bicknell. You just don't know. It seemed like Auburn was on a trail before injuries to the offensive linemen, that they were actually headed in the right direction, that they could make some moves down the stretch. But injuries just really broke this thing up. It looked like Auburn was heading in the right direction. Tank Bigsby was getting on the roll, the freshman of the year in the SEC, having a pretty good season for a true freshman. Really made his presence known, especially with his ability to, quote unquote, make something out of nothing. Like he gets to the line of scrimmage, brick wall, bounces out, first down. I think that's great for Tank Bigsby. I also got saw some stuff on social media where it's possible that Shaun Shivers could be hitting the transfer portal on Auburn. That's kind of a bittersweet thing for me, because I really enjoyed watching Shaun Shivers play. I loved his intensity. I love what he brought to the game. And maybe he sees some opportunities elsewhere, may have been, talking to some folks to where he can put himself in a position to do some bigger things. He's a very solid guy, low to the ground, but definitely solid and definitely fast once he gets out into open field. So, I think Auburn did themselves a great service by giving giving the brand new coach an opportunity. Bryan Harsin, I was about to call him Bryan Carswell. That just seemed like an easier thing to say. To give him an opportunity. Looks like he's got some sound experience under his belt. Definitely not SEC experience, but sound experience nonetheless. Seems like he has a pretty good personal track record. Nothing jumps out as too shaky. Don't see him in the, laying Indian style in the middle of the club. Nothing crazy like that. Not being seen in some random strip club or some craziness like that. So, Auburn seems to be bringing a solid guy to the table. But here's something that he definitely is going to have to know how to do. He's going to have to know how to recruit in the SEC, and he's going to have to really be competitive when it comes to recruiting, because that's going to be the main thing, the straw that will break his camel's back. All right, guys, Kennard, Vernon Stewart here for the podcast. Thank you for the support here over the last few days. Auburn's got a brand new coach who will be in Auburn, allegedly, this weekend, as Auburn gets ready. We haven't even talked about this yet. As Auburn gets prepared to take on Big Ten Conference foe, they're familiar with Big Ten Conference foes in the postseason and playing them in Florida, blah, 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 playing against Northwestern. Should be an interesting football game. Those guys don't score a lot of points, but you're not scoring a lot on them either. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger. Another CarCast for Kennard, Vernon Speaks Sports, Stewart. Great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. You guys take it easy.